All right, and I believe we are now live this Christmas Eve. I'm gonna try to fix up my N-scale layout a little bit. I just figured I'm usually up on Christmas Eve till the wee hours of the morning. It's just an exciting time, and if I'm gonna be up, why not work on something? And I'm probably not the only one out there who's up right now, so why not do a bit of a live stream and see if we can't make this thing a little bit better. So I've already gone ahead and removed all the buildings, track, and everything else, as you can see, but there's a long way to go. So I think we'll get a little bit of a move on here. Looks like we've already got 5 people. St. Louis Trains, hello. Logan, Mike, excellent. All right, well, I think I'll begin by plugging in the vacuum here. This bit's gonna be kind of boring, just gonna be tidying up what's already here because it's an utter mess, and then we'll go from there. 44 people already in here, that's awesome. There are just generations of snow and stuff I've tried to glue down here, and it's all gotta go. Matt, I think SMT put this on by accident. This isn't an accident. Got like nails and stuff from the original track too. See if we can keep this live stream going past 12. Because if I do, I'll be able to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Late live stream. Well, I'm hosting this out of the garage, which is why the audio sounds all messed up. Usually I don't live stream this late because I don't want to keep everybody upstairs awake, but since I can move this layout, it's okay. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Oh, got a super chat. What are your thoughts on Amtrak? I like it. I don't think there's, anything particularly special about it, but every year when I'm up in Maine, my dad usually comes to meet us, taking the down Easters, so it's kind of got a bit of a soft spot with me. I mean, it's basically just the American version of Via Rail. Merry Christmas, how's Nerf Cat? He's doing just fine. He was up with us watching Christmas movies earlier. Well, small layout. Doesn't take long to make progress, does it? Okay, I think we're off to a decent start here. How many engine N-scale locomotives do you have? I'd say about 20 or 30. Thanks for the super chat there, Mike. That's faster than snow plowing. We haven't gotten any here in Connecticut. got a little bit of snow on the ground here, but it's pretty thin. It's not a green Christmas, but I've seen more. So I don't want to remove all the snow, but there's some stuff on here that I think has got to go. This just never worked right. Looks like we got yet another super chat. Texas Model Railroader, glad to see the N-scale layout getting some well-deserved love and attention. It is long overdue. I've been talking about doing these renovations for, I don't know, 2 years. For the rock that's really glued down here, I'm not too concerned about it. I just want to get rid of this tunnel because it looks pretty ugly. There we go. So I'm not sure if I should just go ahead and start gluing stuff down, because I did notice a couple nails over there, so I should probably grab a pair of pliers and pull those out. I don't have any on me at the moment. I'll be back real fast. Okay, got the pliers. SMT, I have a Santa Fe. Everybody's just typing different Christmas songs in the chat. I live in the wrong place, hating the snow. I think being in a snowy place is where you want to be for Christmas. And there's that one. There was just stuff left over from years ago, which I suspect has probably been interfering with my track work. I find Christmas isn't Christmas without snow. Snow is forbidden in the South. Well, it's forbidden until it shows up. Somebody donated $100? What the heck? Let me check on that. Robert Campbell, Merry Christmas to you and NerfCat. Well, thanks a bunch. Good God, that's a very generous super chat. That's insane. Thank you so much. I'll be sure to share some with Nerf Kitty. I always make sure he has a good Christmas. See, when all the snow stuff was down, I couldn't see all these things stuck to the layout, so now I'm actually able to dig down and tidy a lot of this up. What are your thoughts on the Lionel Hallmark ornaments? I like them. I don't own any, but I've seen a lot for sale on eBay and stuff. Buy a lot of cat treats. Thank you so much, Texas Model Railroader. Snow around here in Canada is amazing. Not much here right now. opinion is on Star Wars, watching it right now. I'm not like a massive Star Wars fan, but I like the series, especially the originals. I was putting out stockings earlier, my dog was stealing them and running away with them. Pets are fun, but sometimes annoying. Yes, they are. Yesterday, Nerf Cat jumped up on the layout and he was doing lots of damage. He actually broke my crane and stuff, which, I'm not very happy about, but I always remember he's an old kitty and he's, not going to be around forever, so even when he's doing bad stuff, that's okay. What's the plan for this layout? Just to make it look a little less junky. It's something that's been, kind of on the back burner for a long time, and I think today's finally the day it's going to get some attention. I don't know if I'm going to complete it tonight, but I think we can definitely make this look better than when it started. It already does look better than when it started, because it doesn't have all these terrible tunnels and things like that. Trying to see if there's any other, there's another bad spot. Nerf Cat the Destroyer. Yes, he is. Harrison's burning the midnight oil. I'm always burning the midnight oil. You notice all the videos are usually uploaded at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm always up quite late, so I don't know why. The rest of my family, they go to bed at 10:30. I'm usually up at least till 12 most nights. Most commonly further. So I got these styrofoam mountains. They don't look great, but they're already here. They've been here for 10 years, so why not reuse them, right? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the paper mache technique, but I'm just going to overlay the paper right over this, and I think that will work all right. I was checking model train stuff. All the locomotives are sold out. Christmas stock gone. I haven't noticed anything sold out. Gonna give this is obviously watered down glue too, so it should work all right. I don't know if I'm making this better or worse. Randall Elson, welcome to the Christmas Eve live stream. Is there going to be a new layout in the future? In terms of AHO, I have plans to build a bunch of small layouts, but the main layout is pretty much going to stay the same. Gonna quickly grab some gloves so I can get the glue all spread out here. Hello SMT, welcome. Bye for today, welcome. I have to go to bed, long day ahead tomorrow. Hope everyone has a Merry Christmas and a Happy Boxing Day. Thank you, Matt. You need to get a 4x8 layout. You can build a lot of N scale. Yeah, might be a good idea. Having said that, I was actually thinking about doing a series on how to build a compact layout, because I have a lot of people contacting me saying they want to get into model railroading, but they don't have the space, so I feel like it could be good for that. I always get the most insane project ideas late at night. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I feel like, I don't know, a lot of people sometimes have trouble getting to sleep, but yeah, if I'm trying to shut your mind off at night, that can be a real challenge. It is for me anyway. Texas Model Railroader, thank you for yet another super chat. My goodness. Have you checked out Rapido's gift box event they're doing? It's pretty cool, in my opinion, worth buying. If that's separate from the mystery box event, I wasn't aware of that, so I'll have to have a look. Anyways, we're just gonna load this down a little here. I know this is not looking great at the moment, but I think once the ground cover's down, it's all gonna come together. Merry Chrysler. Merry Chrysler to you too. I mean, I'd probably be more for like a Merry Ford or a Merry GM, but Merry Chrysler's still good. Evening Harrison, when the clock strikes 12, thou shall show our audience Nerf Kitty a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. You're planning on doing a New Year's live stream? Probably not for New Year's, just because every year I go up to my girlfriend's cottage, so that's probably where I'll be, but I figured for Christmas Eve, why not? Merry Christmas. Hope you get all the trains on your wish list. I got a TTX boxcar. That's awesome. I feel like a lot of people get their first train set on Christmas. I did. My friend Nick did. But if anybody in the chat got their first set, please share it in the comments and mention what kind it is. I'd be curious. Is it like a Lionel or a Lifelike, a Tyco, a Bachmann? The year would be cool too. Let's put a good soaking over the top. Usually I'd paint the ground cover, but in this case, since the snow is going over it, it's basically already the perfect color for it. So, North Cascade Railfan says, I got my first steam locomotive for Christmas. It was an HO scale Chattanooga locomotive. Don't know the builder, but it could have steam via liquid. It was probably a Tyco, although I think Mantua Tyco might have also sold that, so one of those two. I don't know if this piece of paper is big enough for that. We'll do. 1975 Tyco set. I got the Hogwarts Express from Lionel. Christmas 1976 Lionel Southern set. I don't know if I've heard of that one. Live stream's been going for about 20 minutes. Yeah, that's true. Got another half hour roughly to go before it's Christmas. My first set was a Bachmann Casey Jones. Huh. I didn't know Bachmann sold a Casey Jones train set. I knew they sold a Casey Jones locomotive. Let's see if I can get more of these rocks off. Tyco Santa Fe with a boxcar gondola caboose before Christmas, so I could set it up around the tree. When's the deadline to submit the Christmas video? Up until Christmas Day. I mean, if you want to upload it tomorrow, it should be all right. The first set I ever got was an old Tomy train set with the Amtrak F40. The first set I got was for my birthday, which was about 1.5 weeks before Christmas. The year was 1993. It was the Bachmann Silver Express. Well, I think at this point we can start putting down some snow here. I don't know if I have enough glue to finish this layout off actually, but I'll go as far as it will. I love the snow and Christmas. I'd go back to work in the snow. Merry Christmas, SMT. Thanks. My first train set was a Canadian National 484 Hudson. I still got it. Hey, SMT, where do you sell your trains, eBay or the local hobby shop? Just my local hobby shop, Hobby House. I don't sell a crazy quantity, but sometimes just for, I don't know, the spare trains I buy off eBay, you know, I don't need a million Tyco Santa Fe locomotives, so I just sell off those excess ones, and usually I only get like $5-10 a pop for them, but just helps to keep them moving. The other ones I just give away. Oh, I think that looks okay. Whoops. Looks like we're going to clean that up. What's your favorite train emoji? Probably the high-speed train. My favorite Christmas movie is The Polar Express. The Polar Express is awesome. I actually went to see The Polar Express in theaters back when it came out. I was 3 years old. Honestly, I was terrified most of the movie. I thought it was kind of scary, but have fond memories of it even still, and it's still a movie that I like watching every year. Like, my favorite character from it has to be the hobo, which a lot of people who watch The Polar Express, they say, oh, the hobo's a bad guy, you know, he's kind of a bully, and, you know, that is true in certain scenes. You know, he's not the nicest guy, but he saves the main character's life several times throughout the movie, and he's pretty damn hilarious, too. I love it when, you know, he's the guy's going to find the main character is going to find the girl on the roof of the train, and he stumbles across the hobo, and he asks what he's doing up there, and the boy's like, I'm looking for a girl, and he's like, aren't we all? It's priceless. The Alaska Railroad. My collection is a black hole. I get too attached to stuff after fixing it and can't sell it. That's something that's happened to me quite a few times. Like, there are a lot of trains that, you know, I've acquired in lots or whatever, and when I get them, yeah, I don't kind of care less. But especially the ones that are really hard to fix up, those ones I become a little more attached to, just because it's like, you know, you've actually put time and effort into it, and, you know, kind of made it what it is. So those are the ones I like to hang on to. I'm trying to avoid getting too much snow on the road. There isn't glue on the road, so theoretically after this is done, I should just be able to brush it off. But still, if I can avoid it, would be good, just in case any of the glue ends up flowing onto the road. How many videos have you recorded that you didn't end up posting? I'd say probably about 5. I don't know. There have been a few duds over the years. I've started putting something together, and I either found it just a bit overwhelming to narrate, or I actually lost the footage. Two live streams in one day, yeah. It's a busy one. Has NerfCat ever jumped up on a model while you've been building it? Yes, he has. It's happened several times. Often when I'm filming videos, you know, sometimes I'm home alone and he'll kind of come downstairs and see what I'm up to, and then he always jumps up on the layout because, you know, he knows he's not supposed to. But he'll also jump up on my workbench sometimes while I'm in the middle of a project and knock stuff over and so on. Do you belong to any model railroad clubs? I'm part of one and sort of half part of another. There's one club. It's a bit of a smaller one, and that's the one I'm kind of more of a full-time member of, just because they're super relaxed there. They don't really care too much about, you know, what kind of trains you run and stuff. You can bring super old equipment, and they're pretty chillax. The other one, there's a lot of great guys there, but they're a little more particular, and they've actually kicked some of my equipment off the layout, which I personally find a little bit silly because, you know, it wasn't causing any problems, but hey, it's their rules. Snow does not seem to be sticking so well to this mountain here. I mean, it looks okay. I don't know, whatever this turns into will certainly be an improvement over what was here when I started off. Also got to watch how much of this I use because I still have to finish off the rest of the layout. Hey SMT, a little bit of a silly question. Do you wish the Polar Express would show up at your house? Because I have for the past 19 years. Yeah, I mean, that would be awesome. And he wouldn't have to go far because I'm already in Canada, so, you know, it could just be kind of on the way. What engine have you been looking forward to get for Christmas? Well, I didn't ask for any model trains for Christmas. I mean, it's possible I might get one. The main thing that I asked for Christmas was a marine barbecue. That's what I've really wanted for a long time, and the things are kind of expensive. But every time I've been out on the water, it's like I've got the music and everything else. But whenever I'm just kind of, you know, sitting in the middle of the lake, the only thing that could make my life better in that moment is a barbecue. So that's what I've asked for. See if I get one. Uh-oh, I've run out of glue. Well, maybe it's enough. What inspired you to love trains? I'm pretty sure it was from my grandfather, because he had a home in Chelsea, Quebec, which was on the Hull-Chelsea-Wakefield line. And there was a tourist train that would go by, so every weekend, me and my dad, we'd drive up there, and the two of them would chat and drink coffee, and the train only went like 40 kilometers an hour. I don't know what that is in miles, probably like 25. And we'd wait. When we heard the whistle, we'd run down to the tracks and we'd watch it go by. And I was seeing that same train every weekend, basically since the day I was born. Even before I could walk, they'd take me down there to see the train. So I think just growing up with that probably got me into trains. And then my dad was also into model railroading when he was a kid. So he kind of introduced me to it. I think personally he wanted me to get into it kind of for the nostalgia a little, but I'm sure glad he did. 24 miles an hour. Oh, I was close. Sparky's in here. Welcome. Hope everyone on the Christmas Day live stream, 1 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, absolutely. If you want to tell everybody about that, Sparky, feel free. Gotta go to bed. Merry Christmas, SMT. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Rodney. Wow, that was literally just enough glue. Merry Christmas, SMT, and everybody here. Yeah, thanks. This part should be easy. As I put down the snow, Let It Snow by Dean Martin. It's just playing in my head. All right, so that's it for the snow. Nope, this doesn't affect the track when you install it. I think it's going to work out better than it did before. Yeah, the first time that was a disaster because I used flour, and that was just such a bad idea. But this time I'm actually using a genuine product, which I hope is a little more compatible. So I guess the next step is going to be actually putting down some track. I left the lifelike controller on the layout here just so I don't have to rewire all of that. Sparky has one of the best Christmas Day live streams, 1 p.m., lots of fun giveaways. Yeah, absolutely. Everyone go check out Sparky's giveaway. I was there, I've been there for a couple previous ones, and it's always a great time. Two live streams in one night. Harrison, lonely? No, I'm doing just fine. We had a nice family dinner and everything else, but everybody likes to go to bed a lot earlier than I do, so I figured why not host a second live stream. What brand of N-scale track did you use for the layout? Also, could you use the re-railer track for railroad crossing? Yeah, that's an option. Unfortunately, the re-railer I have is a straight one, and the crossing's on a corner, so I don't think it's quite going to work out, but that would work. That would have been nice. And to answer your first question, it's Atlas True Track. Where is this layout? I'm in the garage right now. Usually it's in the basement beside the HO layout, but I decided to move it just so I wouldn't keep everybody awake all night. They won't appreciate that. Have you seen the Bachman Bluetooth Christmas music app that is in sync with the train? I haven't, actually. I'll have to have a look at that later. Harrison, I used to build dioramas late at night. It's kind of perfect because, it's nice and quiet. Unless you're hosting a live stream Are your summer tires holding up the layout? Yeah, as a matter of fact, they are. On this side, we've got some Continentals, and, well, on this side, we've got some Continentals. On this side, we've got some Michelins, keeping the dream alive. What's the plan for the layout? Just to make it look a little bit better than it did. I don't have super high hopes for it, but I think things should be all right. Wonder when you replace the original track with Atlas True Track for N-Scale. It's probably, I think it was 2019. Michelin still makes a good tire. Michelin tires are great. My grandfather swore by them, and I see why. This one year, me and my family got Toyo tires, and they were junk. And having good tires really makes a big difference when you're up in the north, because I tell you what, you get on ice, and that's what will decipher a good tire from a bad one. It's like 90% of the time when I see somebody getting their car stuck, it's because they didn't put their winter tires on. You know, a lot of tires are called all seasons. They should just be called summers. I don't know why they call them all season, and that's a myth. But yeah, even cheap winter tires will outperform all seasons. Get a tow truck. That would be the dream. I've used the Toyota 4Runner to tow some people out of ditches. It's not a tow truck, but if you got some good ratchet straps, it will get the job done. It's one of those great big Volvo station wagons, and it was really jammed in a snowbank and had no problems. Okay, it's looking better. Yeah, plan to add switches at some point or just keep it going as a loop. Just keep it going as a loop. I don't really want to change the track design. It's been working fine as it is. I just don't want the layout to be so ugly. That's the main thing I want to fix. This fit before. That doesn't make any sense. What did I do? Okay, I think the outer loop has to shimmy over. I think that the original track used to come through here. This is gonna look bad. I've already messed up the snow a little bit, but it has to work. Yep, that's the ticket. Two live streams in one day. This truly is Christmas time. Well, in 3 minutes, it'll be Christmas Day, and then that's going to be good. Three minutes, yep. Peter Rocco, welcome. got your box in the mail. It should be there Wednesday. All right, I'll keep an eye out for it. All right, 1 minute to go. Still 1 hour to go. I guess it depends on what time zone you're in. See, it's going to change any second now, if it hasn't already. Yeah, there we go. Merry Christmas, everyone. Do you have any opinions on the Canadian Pacific holiday train? I love it. Ever since either 2009 or 2010, it's been a tradition to go see it. And I think it's good what they do, too. They do a lot of fundraising with that for food banks. So I applaud Canadian Pacific for that. Okay, I think the track is good enough. Let's try to focus in on actually getting some buildings down here. Now, I don't have anything too fancy. It's all the same stuff that was on here before, but maybe things will get rearranged. Wow, great job past me. That's not gonna work. We'll put that one kind of out in the bush a little more. Sparky, all you kids should be in bed or Santa will miss your place. Yes. I don't know if Controller Packers is in here right now, but anyway, he was the one who actually sent this building in a while back. So I'm gonna throw that on the layout. Any chance for a hobo camp on the layout? I don't know. I'm 50. Is it your birthday, Chris Danielle? That's not going to fit. I think the gas station should go somewhere else. That looks better. No, I'm just saying none of us are kids here. Well, I think what Sparky meant is just what the song says, you know, from kids from 1 to 92. That's it. Getting ready to go to some train shows. Hopefully they'll have the Elmer train show again. They usually host that in early January. Kids can like Electric Lights Orchestra. I sure did when I was a kid. Electric Lights Orchestra is awesome. Sparky, and come on, we're watching trains, model trains, so we're really kids. Young at heart. Now, I have some trees. I don't know if these are over scale for N-scale or not. They would definitely be large in terms of N-scale trees, but I always found this layout looked a little too bare, so I think I'm going to add these on somewhere. Get the glue gun warming up so I can throw a few of those on, but I think pines will be good to keep this sort of Christmas motif going here. Did you go to Ohio? Yeah, I've been to Ohio. I visited Cincinnati in 2019, as well as Forest Park in Fairfield. Forgot the best details. Electric Lights Orchestra had a lot of their songs with trains in them. I haven't seen too many other music videos. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of their songs. I really like Four Little Diamonds and Confusion. Those are so well done. I find Four Little Diamonds is way different than a lot of their other songs. See if the old glue gun is actually hot. Nope. These actually were Christmas trees. The glue gun is just taking forever to heat up. I feel like the temperature of the garage here is probably not helping. Yeah, so there it is in Freedom units. Yeah, not so hot. For the real kids, LEO means Electric Lights Orchestra, a hot 70s and early 80s band. What's the modern LEO? I haven't heard of that. Can you run a locomotive while you're working? Yeah, I could try. I got the perfect one. see if this will actually even work. Used prices are creeping higher and higher. I've been noticing that, like, you used to be able to buy lots of trains on eBay for under $100, and now the last few lots I've bought have been like 200, 300. Oh, yeah, okay, that's good. This might take a while to get going. eBay is so taxed. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, they charge a fee, and it's even worse when you're importing to Canada because you have to pay shipping fees, and the shipping fees go up depending on how much the item is worth. So, and then it's all in Canadian dollars too. So, you buy something that's 100 American, that's 130 Canadian, and then you have to pay the Canadian taxes on that. Plus the shipping, that's probably another $40 Canadian. So yeah, when all's said and done, it's not cheap. This thing is just struggling. Well, I think by now the glue gun has heated up, so I'll start throwing some trees down. I think I'll throw a few around the power pack, try to hide it a bit. It's probably not going to make a massive difference, but it's better than nothing. I treated myself to some Canadian this Christmas. I purchased an Intermountain GE ET44AC 4-tier Gevo, Canadian National CN, number 3023, the Orange Boy. Gorgeous. Bachman's Via Charger is out. DCC and sound is $400 plus tax. Are you getting one? Probably not, honestly. I already bought my Aurora locomotive, and I think that thing was about 400 Canadian, which not the kind of money I usually spend on a locomotive, but I really wanted that one. So not as crazy. I like the Chargers, but I don't know if I'm willing to spend $400 like them. I don't know. Should probably get a track cleaner down here, but that would help. SMT regards. With regards to the mystery boxes, did all those locos work out of the box on DCC? I was kind of confused by what you did there. You put it on DC power. Yeah, all of the Rapido locomotives, with the exception of the last E8, would not start on DCC. I could start them on DC power, and then after they had the DC power for a few seconds, they were totally fine with the DCC controller. But for some reason, yeah, just trying to get them to move, they wouldn't accept the DCC power. The decoder, they were getting power. The decoder was going. You could hear it revving, but they wouldn't move. So, yeah, I don't know what the deal with that is. I've heard from some people who are a little more knowledgeable on DCC that sometimes when a decoder's been sitting for a long time, components inside can discharge, and sometimes giving them power can build that charge back up. So I don't know if giving them just regular DC power did that, but yeah, it was very weird. I haven't had that happen before. Usually a factory reset sorts them out, but they were not having it. Well, I'm opening my mystery box tomorrow. Let's hope I get a good one. Well, the good news is that if you have the same problem, you could just put a 9-volt battery to the wheels, and that's the same. It's DC, it's 9 volts to DC power, which is enough to power a locomotive. So If it gets stuck like mine did in the beginning, just do that and you should be in business. I should have brought an awl in here and I could actually poke some holes in the mountain. Yeah, hold on a moment. It's just too good an opportunity to pass up here. Yeah. My mystery box is from Sam's Trains, came last week. Can't wait to see what's in that. I didn't know Sam's Trains was selling mystery boxes. I wonder what you get in those. Have you been to Turkey? I can't say I have. With the Christmas mystery boxes, compared to what you spend, how good the deal is, and I know the E8s are worth $344. I looked online for all the DCC and sound-equipped locomotives from Rapido. I was seeing them going for $370 Canadian. So, I mean, that alone is worth more than the value of the box. But I mean, their rolling stock is also worth about, $50 a piece. So the fact I got two in most boxes, that's definitely worth something. That's $100. And then their HO scale vehicles are worth about $25, and they included one of those. So that's another, $25 plus the switch machine. Those also sell for $25. So in my opinion, they basically gave, $150 or more of, free value, which doesn't seem too bad, but I guess when you factor in the MSRP, maybe it's not as good a deal. Their marketing got me. I have over 100 locomotives now. I saw a bit of a deal, and it's something to get for Christmas. Yeah, it's sort of fun too. I thought I was only going to get E8 locomotives out of that, so I really was not expecting there to be some other varieties in there. My friend got one. He got a Union Pacific U25B in it. Is the Go locomotive a factory paint mishap? I've never seen that on the real ones. I'm not an expert on Go Transit, but to me that looks intentional. I think it's on both sides. I'd have to ask Chris of Go Veer or Go Whom. He'd probably know if that was supposed to look that way. I'm guessing it was probably an older paint scheme they had. Chris Danielle, it is no, sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. It is not a mishap. They ran it as a promo thing for a year or two. Well, there you have it. I'm gonna go see if I have any more evergreens to put on here. I don't know if this was all sent in from Peter Wacko or if this is stuff I accumulated, but I was digging under the layout a couple days ago and I found this box of all these trees, and honestly, I couldn't remember where I got them all, so I mean, it was a happy thing to find. Like, they will always be of use, but I just didn't remember ever buying these. I really like Atlas locomotives, just wish they wouldn't come up with Acme couplers. Fair share of problems with those. Yeah, I've got to say, as the years go by, I've just been becoming more and more biased towards Katie couplers. It just seems to be what everybody likes, and I kind of see why. Like, years ago, I used to like the Bachmann Easy Mate couplers because, you know, they were easy to install and they were super cost effective, but you know what? Like, they don't last very long versus like those metal couplers. Unless you drop them, they pretty much never break. I think that one's got a little bit too long of a trunk. You put some snow on the trees. Unfortunately, I ran out, but it's okay. Maybe they had a melt-off in the town. It matches the buildings. I wonder if the glue will even stick to this. Kind of. 48 minutes until Christmas for me, too. Yeah, I guess the other time zones must be getting there. That one didn't stick. Hey there, SMT. I got a whole train lot off of Facebook Marketplace for free, and it came with 6 locomotives and 36 freight cars, etc. Most of the locomotives are Bachmann and Tyco. Well, hey, for free, that's pretty cool. Facebook Marketplace, I find, is very hit or miss for HO scale equipment. I find there's, a lot of people that, what I guess happens is they're probably digging through their attic and they find a box of trains, probably not even knowing where it came from, and they're like, oh, I've struck gold, because they look on eBay and they see other model trains going for $300 and they assume they're sitting on Fort Knox, and so they overlist their old Tycos for, $200 or something. But once in a while, you just have somebody and they're just trying to get rid of it, and you can walk away with a real good deal. You should use oil on the gear. Should you use oil on gears 3-in-1? A friend of mine keeps arguing me, saying you shouldn't use grease on locomotives, so please settle this for me. Yes, you should use grease on the worm gears. You don't need to use grease on regular gears, though. I also wouldn't really recommend 3-in-1 oil. 3-in-1 oil is way better than WD-40. I wouldn't ever suggest really using WD-40 unless you're trying to get something unstuck. So, but if you can, it's best to buy actual model train lubricant. Like I said, 3-in-1 oil, it will work. It's just not the greatest. I wish they stopped making plastic couplers because it could cause derailments, and coupler KDs are much better because the metal won't break. Yeah, exactly. And the other thing I didn't know at the time is like when you load up a super long train, which is really heavy, the plastic couplers bend so much that sometimes they just kind of like pop out of place. Like the couplers, you know, they're hanging on kind of like this, right? And then they just sort of slip like that versus the metal ones, like they can take a lot of tension. What track are you using? It looks pretty good with the snow. It's Atlas True Track. I bought it used. I think it was like $2 a bundle, used at my train store, and I couldn't refuse that deal. And I'm happy with it. It seems to work pretty well. See if we can get a few more of these evergreens down, and then I'll probably call it a night not too long after that. This evergreen tree, I think, could use a bit of evergreening. I don't know if that fixed it much, but I wonder if I got some scissors and just trim this, if I can make it look a little better. Any thoughts on Canadian Pacific Steam? I don't know really what Canadian Pacific is working on in terms of steam locomotives, but I really wish they'd bring 1201 to the table. See, this right here is why I should never become a barber. Oh God, this is not getting better. Well, it will work. Bachmann or Tyco? I'm personally a bigger fan of Tyco. Bachmann locomotives maybe could be arguably more reliable, although that's, I don't know, in the 80s, at the time when Tyco was still around, it's kind of debatable. Their diesels, I think, are more reliable, but their steam engines, But the thing I like about Tyco is, despite some of their quality issues, they did make really cool stuff. No other manufacturers made anything like, the Spirit of 76 or the Silver Streak or the Golden Eagle and stuff. Like, that was all kind of unique to Tyco. Tyco locomotives are more iconic. Everybody knows the Silver Streak, the Midnight Express, the Golden Eagle, etc., etc. Yeah, exactly. SMT, do you do locomotive repairs for subscribers? I have a locomotive lot I got off Facebook, but it doesn't run or use its own power. I used to, a couple of years ago, people could mail in locomotives and I do repairs on them, but if I'm honest, I was running into a lot of problems with that, where, I'd get something and I was having trouble getting people's addresses, or people were listing the item they were sending as a job lot, which was triggering taxes, and then stuff would actually get stuck because it had a billing address from the person who sent it, but my post office box is not a home address, so the fees would get stuck, and then I actually had credit agencies going after me. So I kind of put a stop to it after that, unfortunately. So I've done some localized repairs since then. There's some, guys around town or from the train club who have said, hey man, could you fix these up? And I'll do it. But yeah, in terms of shipping stuff, I don't want to do that anymore. I am, however, happy. If anybody ever needs advice on repairing something, I don't know everything by a long shot, but, I'm happy to try to help anybody repair stuff. And I always get emails from people saying, hey, I got this steam engine, it doesn't work. What do you think's going on with it? So if anybody ever has questions, I will try to help. I heard, let me read that. I heard the Toronto Railway Museum is planning to make an HO scale layout of the 1950s in Toronto. Huh, well, that'll be cool. Maybe they'll make something similar to what Steamtown has. What I'm doing here is I'm trying to dry out the area where I'm putting the trees, because obviously I overlaid that glue earlier and it's not fully dried. Just try to put a tree directly on that, it won't stick. I was afraid that might happen. I was scammed on eBay. It said that the locomotive was DCC sound, but it was a DC locomotive. Well, you can always just contact the seller and just ask if, maybe they made a mistake or something. I find that most eBay sellers are very good. If you have a problem, the last thing that any seller on eBay wants is like negative feedback. So, if you just approach them politely and say, hey, I got the engine, it said in your listing, it was DCC and sound, and, you send a video of it and prove that, it's not sound equipped. More often than not, they'll probably help you. There are scammers on eBay, there's no doubt about it, but I think people are also just prone to making honest mistakes sometimes. SMT, me and my father have received 8 boxes of HO scale train locomotives and rolling stock from my grandfather. They are from around 1980, sorry. Any tips to clean the equipment / upgrade the couplers, etc.? It's really just the same advice as I give for everything else. Just clean everything up, throw some fresh oil in there, and you're pretty much good to go. The only thing I would probably recommend is getting yourself a Track Brite or just a Scotch Brite. Clean the track, because if it's from the 80s, it's probably brass or steel track, and that stuff's not very good. It's very unreliable. So even if your equipment's working right, it's not going to run that well on there unless you really clean it. So either get some sort of an abrasive cleaner to clean off the track, or replace the track, just get brand new track. That way you won't run into those kinds of problems. You should make a video of going through your whole collection and either getting rid of duplicates you have or selling them. Well, I'm not against having duplicates of some locomotives, but yeah, it would be I do need to overhaul my collection and figure out what's redundant. There are some engines in there which really, I don't know, I just don't really feel the need to hold on to anymore, and it would be better if I either sold them or just gave them away to somebody who actually wanted them. If it's Tyco stuff, you're stuck with the horn hook couplers unless you cut those off and glue on coupler pockets. I'd probably just leave the horn hook couplers. They're not, that bad. They don't look very good, but I don't find they're super unreliable. And what you can do is you can upgrade one car. So what you do is you put a knuckle coupler on one side and then you leave the horn hook on the other. And then, you can put all your horn hook cars behind that and have a modern engine haul them. In fact, before I would replace couplers, I would probably focus on replacing wheels, because plastic wheels, they work, but they will cause problems. They leave residue on your track. So yeah, if you're going to upgrade anything, sink some money into that kind of stuff, I'd probably focus on the wheels. What's your opinion on Walters Mainline? I haven't bought a lot from Walters Mainline, but the few things I have been pretty good. Do you own any Thomas locomotives? I can't say I do. I don't have anything against Thomas. I watched the show when I was a kid and I really enjoyed it, but I'm not really interested in getting any. This is a stubborn one. I got some 00 trains for my birthday. Are they good or not? Well, I can't say without having a look at them, but yeah, I'm sure they're fine. It's probably Hornby trying stuff. Condor, Merry Christmas SMT. I love the videos I've watched through my whole time in the hobby. Keep it up. Have a great New Year. Thanks, you too. How many Australian locomotives do you have? I've got about 2 right now, but I actually managed to acquire a lot of Australian locomotives, so there's going to be an unboxing video specifically dedicated to opening up different engines from Australia, and I'm going to grow that part of the collection. A lot of the viewers on the channel are actually from Australia. I mean, the majority of people who watch these videos are either from Canada or the United States, but I believe Australia is actually the third largest group of viewership, which, I don't know, it's kind of surprising. I wouldn't think so many people from Australia would be interested in a Canadian model railroading channel, but I'm very complimented that so many people from Australia are. Nice, I'm from Brisbane, Australia. Tried upgrading plastic wheels and found out metal wheels are too tight for the truck. I had to use a Micromark wheel tuner to get the metal wheels to work with the Tyco trucks. I haven't run into that problem myself, but yeah, I've heard of that happening. They had a Coca-Cola tanker, the same old Amtrak locomotives. My brother got us some custom cars too. The old layout is a 24x8. Well, that's quite the layout. With plywood and mountains, but my dad and brother took a hammer to it. Oh. Tracks could use some cleaning. Yeah, no kidding. the N-scale buildings I gave you add a nice touch. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you were here earlier, Controller Packers, but I was actually talking about how you sent that one in there. Thanks again for that. And thank you for the super chat too. It is sticking to the layout. It's just the glue is so hot that it takes a while for it to get stuck. T.Y. Whiteman says, I love how you interact with viewers, SMT. That's why I'm still subscribed. I showed my dad 3 of the HO builds you're doing. I really liked it. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. I do try. You know, I'm no expert content creator. That's the truth. Like whenever I'm making a video, I do put effort into it and stuff like that, but never really had the intention of like running a YouTube channel. So it's just I don't know. I just feel it's sort of unexpected when people say nice things like that. But I do appreciate it. I don't want anyone to get me wrong. Starting to look a little bit like the background of Rudolph, isn't it? Everyone says TY. It's not like that. It's Ty. Okay. Well, thanks for letting me know. Well, we got a bit of a Charlie Brown tree. That's okay. Bachmann split chassis, by far the worst design ever. I agree with that. Those were not well built. It's too bad because I actually have a split chassis 260 from my very first lot of trains. And my dad has a consolidation locomotive, and so they both have that design. So it kind of sucks having a couple of sentimental locomotives have, you know, a notorious design. Because I want them to run well, but kind of is what it is. It's a Penn Central tree. Why don't you use Kato Unitrack? I'm sure it would work great. It's just a little bit expensive. Although this, well, I shouldn't say that. I think the main reason my track doesn't work down here is because I had that terrible flower on the layout. That's one of the worst things I've ever done to a layout before, is that stupid stuff. So hopefully this will work a little better now that I've got actual snow down. But yeah, maybe I'll have to get Unitrack if I can't get this to work right. I've messed this up real well, but gonna tamp that down a little bit. This thing is getting better. This layout is never going to be, you know, winning any look awards, but if it can just be slightly better, I'll be happy. SMT, do you sell locomotives or repair them by any chance in case those old ones need to be fixed up? I was talking earlier that I don't do repairs that involve shipping. I do sell off some of the stuff I buy off eBay in those lots after I fix it up. But the majority of it I either hang on to or I just give away. I use snow spray, it works really well. I tried to use some on this layout a couple years ago. That didn't end very well, but it was also dollar store spray, so maybe if I had coughed up a couple more dollars, things would have gone better. Just find some N-scale snowmobiles and put them in that area. That's a great idea. Yeah, that will explain all the damage done there. A couple of Yamaha Enticers, or maybe a Ski-Doo Scanic, or maybe a Ski-Doo Citation. Or if I want to be really vintage, we could have an old Evinrude snowmobile, or a John Deere snowmobile, or an Arctic Cat. Sky's the limit. What's the new add-ons you're thinking about adding to the N-scale layout? Not much at the moment. I just want to make it look a bit better, but I would like to. I just want this thing to look decent and for it to work decent. That's really all I want out of this layout. I think after I get this tree down or another one, I'll probably I'll get a track cleaner down here. I'll try to get that going. I think I'll probably finish off the live stream. You could just put some foliage in and do a light snow dust to hide the imperfections. That would work too, but I think I like the snowmobile idea better. There could be like some sort of like a rally going on maybe. Pete Monster 62, maybe you should connect more jumper wires around the ovals. I wonder if Atlas makes terminal joiners for N-scale track. You could try soldering a small gauge wire to the rail joiner. I don't think the problem is with the rail joiners. I think it's the problems with the rails themselves. Like the top layer is coated in something from the trains, like burning the flour as they run around. Because this all worked perfectly in the beginning, and it doesn't lose power in particular spots. It loses power all the way around. So to me, that signifies that the rails themselves are the problem. Okay, I've got one more evergreen. I'm going to throw that on there, and then we'll see. Merry Christmas, Harrison. Hope you have a wonderful holiday. Good night. Thanks for stopping by. SMT, do you have tips for repairing 1980s locomotives if needed? Really, it's cleaning everything. You got to clean out old oil, old hair, stuff that's got caught in them, and then it's just throwing fresh oil in them. And like 90% of the time, unless there is a problem, you know, that was pre-existing, that will fix about anything. Canadian behavior. Hey, Liam, welcome to the live stream. I'd hate to be that bus driver. Yeah, driving a Greyhound down a road like that. Funny story. This bus was a coincidence, but my family actually in another part of Canada. I'm not going to say where because I don't want people figuring stuff out. But my family used to have a couple bus depots, which served Greyhound buses, and they also had a couple school bus stations. So back in the 80s, the entire clan, which was like 80 people, they would, take one of their own buses and they'd travel from home to home across Canada for the holidays. And part of one of these bus depots was like a little Chinese restaurant. So one of the ladies, when she was preparing for the clan, would, she would get some food from the Chinese restaurant and cook some up herself. But when you're making food for 80 people, nobody has a refrigerator for that. So what she would do is she would, stick stuff out in the garage and then just open the garage door a little bit, and the cold air from, it being freezing outside would keep all the food cold. So she'd been working for about a week, cooking up the food for the busload of, family members coming up for Christmas. This one day, she goes out to get some stuff from the grocery store, and while she was gone, the garbage men came by, and they saw all these garbage bags, because she was just throwing the food in garbage bags, like in trays, wrapping them in garbage bags and putting them out in the garage. So they came by and probably thought, this poor woman, she's got all this trash, let's help her out. So they took everything. She came home, not a thing left, and in 2 days had to rebuild everything she did for the family. Sorry for the tangent, the bus thing just reminded me of that. Anyways, I'm just going to quickly grab a track cleaner. We'll try to get this one locomotive going, and then I think I'll finish things off, but let's see if we can get this to do one lap, How many Tyco locomotives do you have? Probably about maybe 30. Whoops. Yeah, I can already see the rails getting a little shinier. I wasn't expecting a stream 1 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, no, this is the real SNT After Dark show. Now the engine won't even start. Maybe Peter was right. Maybe it is the joiners. Oh no, it's working. Never mind. Well, it's working. SMT, how could a subscriber like me send stuff like I've seen in other unboxings? You just I have a video on my channel. It's called I Got a P.O. Box. And in the description of that video, there is the address to that P.O. Box. I wish I had it copied, but I'm on my phone right now, so I can't post it. The best brand for reliability or operation, Kato or Atlas? If you're asking as a question, I would probably say Kato, but I'm sure Atlas would be just as good. I can't tell if that's a question or a statement. If it's a statement, I definitely agree. Wheels need cleaning. It could be the engine, yeah. My money's still on the track. Yeah, I see when it hits the clean spot how it went flying like that. There's just a really thin layer of junk. Cripes. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. It's gonna stall right here. Yep. See if I can get this at a little bit of a better angle here. Oh, yeah. Oh no! Not my Bachmann. SMT, if you got $1 billion, what would you buy with it? I would buy Forest Fair Mall in Cincinnati, Ohio, and restore it to its glory, and get the Wakefield train working again, and make sure all my friends and family are all sorted out, and then I'd just give the rest away to charity. I mean, the truth is, I have pretty much everything I want in life. They're the really big dreams, but in terms of small things, I'm pretty happy. And now you're going to bed. That's like my mom's joined the live stream or something. SMT, why don't you like the Bachmann brand much? Because a lot I got off Facebook really aren't that bad. They're not horrible. My main problem is that I just feel like they overcharge for what they are. Like, I'm fine with stuff being lower quality. Like Lifelike's one of my favorite brands, and those are, kind of junky, but it's just what you're charging. It's a price to quality ratio, and I just don't feel like they're being that fair with, what they're selling. I'd hire someone to build my layout. Yeah, maybe it'd be worth it. I like doing this stuff, but it does get tedious when you screw up your favorite coat. Well, I'll keep it going for 2 more minutes because it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'll finish it off at 1 o'clock right on the nose. Why do your trains run so fast? In this case, it's to keep it moving. If it's running faster, it's less likely to stall. But I also just like running them fast. I think it's more exciting. I understand for realism, it's good to run your trains at train show speed, but yeah, it's kind of good. Chris Danielle, Bachmann has a terrible reputation for reliability, build quality, price, and they're the equivalent of Tyco. They've never really been able to shake their shady reputation. I mean, that's part of the problem. It's like, they cut a lot of corners in the 80s, and even though their products are way better than they were, they've still got that kind of reputation attached to them. You know, whereas I'm pretty confident the reason that Lifelike created Proto 2000 was because they knew that they also had a bad reputation. So what do you do when you have a bad reputation? You start a second brand that doesn't share the same name as the first brand, and then you know, actually display what the drive looks like. Pete Monster, the speed is okay if it's pushing a DeLorean. That's a good point. Gotta get the thing up to 88 miles an hour. All right, it's 1, which means for people in other time zones, it's now Christmas. So Merry Christmas to everyone. And I think I'll finish things off and yeah, probably head off to bed or just keep editing a new video on working on another layout. But for everybody that's just watching, I hope you all have a great Christmas. In case I don't say so tomorrow if I fail to upload the video. So Merry Christmas, everyone.